To be or not to be? Was it Shakespeare? Who knows? Hi Internet, I'm Ratu, your hot mess reader, and it's been a long while. I have an explanation for it, or maybe not. There is no excuse for me to not post at all for about 6 months. And I'm trying to achieve, well, I'm already late anyway. It's already February the 1st, and by the meantime, posting this, it could be any 2nd February, who knows, whatever. But I'm trying to make through the New Year 2023 content bertema in January, or theme content that is organized by BookTube Malaysia, and it's such a fun challenge because you try to pick a book or read a book and try to tie it with your life or whatever that relates to the theme. And the January's theme is reaksi, or reaction, or reactive, or some form of response. And the explanation in the Facebook page mentioned that throughout, after we done the reflection and the resolution, what's the next steps or the reaction towards our reflection. And I'm not gonna dilly-dally and bore you about the details of my life, especially why I didn't post for about 6 months, because well, I say I didn't want to bore you, but it's just in a nutshell, I changed jobs, and basically I changed the location of the job, Malaysia to New Zealand. So that was a big leap, and yeah, also thankfully I'm not so sure if it's clear in the video, but I do suffer an injury and a cut now, so I don't want to bore you the details, but a lot of things happen. And now I will introduce you to 2 books that I managed to read in the month of January, and I think they're both relevant to the topic of reaksi, or reaction, or response. So the first one I want to talk about is quite trending internationally. It's called Nauzubillah, I'm Glad My Mom Died, from Jennette McCurdy. So if anyone is familiar, if you look at her face closely, Jennette McCurdy is the actress that played Sam in iCarly, the Nickelodeon or maybe TV9 series iCarly. And this talk about how she suffered a tight rein or control from her overbearing mom, who actually wanted her to be an actress. Like, her mom wanted to become the actress, but she couldn't achieve her own dream. She forced her daughter, her only daughter, to live that dream, but instead she suffered to achieve her mom's ideal. And I think it's very reading this is really, I'll be honest, to a certain extent, maybe for some people it's literally hard to digest, because she also suffered through body dysmorphia, somewhat eating disorder, and yeah, you need to have the mentality to digest her story. I do want to comment that her story, or the way that is written, is very episodic. Her chapters, one chapter is just like about 20 pages. It's very short for it to go through each chapter, and she paced the book well. One chapter is about a certain topic or a theme she wanted to convey, or an event that happened during parts of her stages of her childhood and her career. Either way, if you have the chance, read I'm Glad My Mom Died from Jennette McCurdy. The title is disturbing because the story it is like, these are non-fiction, and somewhat autobiographical of her life, handling her overbearing mom and dealing with why she didn't really feel that connected to her mom. And even though her mom passed away, she didn't feel, or she wanted to feel the longing, like typical mother-daughter relationship. But sadly, it wasn't the case for her. And from there, her reaction or her response to it is now to unlearn this toxic nurturing that she had undergone under her mother's regime, and trying to find herself back, rekindle the joy of her eating, finding stuff she wanted to do. Like, she managed to write a book, and in truth, she actually do prefer writing instead of acting, and so forth. I think I don't want to bore you the details. Well, I think I did, or spoil you the details, but yeah, the gist of the story is that if you have a chance, read it. I think this is one of the most iconic and quite no filter kind of celebrity biography. She is free to write what she wants. So this is her debut best-selling work. So I'm looking forward if she is producing any other work, so maybe fictional work, but we'll see. So it's a good leap for her, and yeah, well done. The next book I'm gonna talk about, and this is interesting since for information, is that I'm currently working in New Zealand, so I want to, well, more or less to embrace or understand and explore the culture or the things that are authentic or local around New Zealand. Bear in mind, New Zealand is pretty much like somewhat a semi melting pot, I guess. A lot of us are like migrants, European migrants, Asian migrants, and the indigenous are Maori people. So these are where culture and heritage interweave and become, they call themselves, oh yeah, fun fact, New Zealander call themselves Kiwi, the bird kiwi and the fruit kiwi. So this book, I bought it for clearance sale, $20. I know, don't convert it, okay? It's called Knock Knock Confessions of a Kiwi Interviewer from Trish Palmer. I'll be honest, the cover is kind of tacky, or someone might say it's vintagey. Even the font, not so sure if you can see it, it's kind of tacky in my opinion, but whatever, it works. It's just $20, and it's also it's like a episodic kind of story about like, I'm not so sure if it's done typically in Malaysia, where people go from house to house, try to sell things. Like, I don't know, I don't even know how to begin, but I know when I was staying recently here in my apartment, and fun fact, while Malaysia is monopolized by TMB, like our major electrical supplier, here in New Zealand, they are managed by different various companies. So you have different brand that sells electric. So for us, I haven't established my own electric supplier, so I pay the bills to this company. But then I got a knock from the door about this marketer or sales marketing executive trying to sell me a different brand of electricity and saying like, oh, what electric brand you're using, and they yada yada interview me or trying to upsell me about those kind of product. So this is one of the things that is normal within the New Zealand culture, where there are surveyor or telemarketer knocking on your doors and perform some kind of upselling a product or just random survey. So in this case, this lady is more like a survey supervisor, so she has to go through the adventures of going to various New Zealander or residents around New Zealand, and from high-end people to in Malaysia standard B40. So you got T20 to B40 kind of people that she has to interview. And some, well, for the most part, if you go to the grassroots, just like Malaysian, she admires the community of her country, especially those that are struggling to make ends meet. And I think that's very beautiful. And also, fun fact, well, not really fun fact, but I'll give you I don't want to bore you the details about my experience, but one thing when you start to work abroad, maybe I have the advantage, alhamdulillah, I had the opportunity to study in New Zealand as well back in 2016, like that. And at the time, I think I was really taken care of by the local New Zealander and Malaysian embassy and stuff, because I had really good experience with the country. Like I can only, and I think I was more like blindsided. I can only see through those rose-colored tinted glasses. I can only see the good things. Like I really complimented a lot about the country, and that motivated me to come back and work here. Don't get me wrong, I'm still enjoying, especially the work life here. But as further as I go in and I mingle with the local co-worker that comes from various social backgrounds, I realized that they also have a impending wage gap, not really wage gap, impending social gap. Apparently you can even, like even in Malaysia, you have like suburb area that is considered low class and suburb area that is considered high end or high class, or people that can afford more live in this bougie area. So apparently in New Zealand there is such a thing. And then suddenly, I don't know what happened, maybe after something just went wrong with COVID, like there's just like increasing crime attacks and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, New Zealand is still one of the best country if you want to go and study. And yeah, before I get sidetracked, my god, now I have to cut. Yeah, this story tells about her, adventures of knocking through various doors and understand the people's need. And sometimes, you gotta sympathize and empathize with her. Like, there's gonna be rejection, those Karens that just bully her or badmouth or talk shit about her or talk shit about the government when she was just doing her job. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all from me. I hope you enjoy, and hopefully more to come for 2023. Honestly, I didn't even set up a resolution. New year, new me. No, maybe new year, better me. Okay, slowly improving myself, like really slowly settling in, and hopefully I can post more videos and read more books. Yep. All right. Bye.